Now, more properties linked to Muslim protesters have been demolished in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Authorities say they're only pulling down illegal buildings, but rights groups have previously accused the governing BJP of carrying out demolitions to intimidate Muslims. The destruction follows days of rallies against two former BJP officials for making remarks against the Prophet Muhammad that many consider offensive. Afreen Fathima is an activist whose father, Javed Mohammed, is a leader of the Welfare Party of India. Their home was amongst those demolished. She joins me now from Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh state. Good to have you with us on the programme. Can I just begin first? Were you, your father, or any member of your family at these demonstrations?
We were not demonstrating on Friday. None of us were part of the protests that happened in Allahabad, and we were at our house. It was a Friday. It was Friday, so we offered our prayers, and we were in the house all the time.
OK, Afreen. So then the next question I have to ask before we can carry on is: has your home ever been questioned as being illegally erected or constructed in any way?
Absolutely not. I mean, we've been paying our house tax for around 20 years, and not once have we received any intimation by any development authorities of Allahabad that our house is illegal, or why were they even taking our taxes if it was an illegal house indeed.
Well, now we've got those facts very clear. Let's just talk about what happened to your family. Obviously, you've been targeted. So just start with the timeline of when the knock came at the door.
Right. So at around 8:50 p.m. on 10th of June, Friday, the police came to quote unquote talk to my father. They asked him to accompany him to the police station for talks. That is it. They did not tell us if it was a detention, if it was an arrest. There was no warrant that was shown, and they just asked him to accompany them to the police station, and my father went with them on his own vehicle, believing that he's just being called to talk about what had happened in Allahabad following the protest. And then we did not really know where they took him. We did not really know why, or they just told that they want to talk to my father. And then at around 12:30 a.m., that would be 11th of June, at 12:30 a.m.
In the middle of the night.
My mother and my sister. Yes, my mother and my younger sister were also detained by the police. They hurriedly came and they intimidated them into going with them. And it was so hurried that I could not even figure out that my mother had been detained and she had gone. By the time I could come to the gate, they had already taken her and my sister.
So can we just clarify, there was no, can we just Afreen, step by step, if we can just clarify, there was no arrest warrant and there were no charges put against your father or any member of your family. So you didn't know why you were being taken into custody?
Absolutely not. There were no warrants. There was no intimation from part of the police as to why they were taking them. In fact, they did not even tell us where they were taking them. So we did not really know which police station, why, nothing. We had no idea. And then at around 2:30 a.m., the police again comes to our house and asks my sister-in-law and me to also accompany them to the police station for investigation. And just to clarify, my father still was not named in any FIR. We still did not know if he was arrested, if he was detained, where he was, and if the police was charging him of anything. And they asked us to come to the police station with them, which we denied that we will not be going to the police station because it's late at night and you can't be taking females, you can't be detaining females. And I made sure that I let them know that this would be an illegal detention on their part, and of course forceful, yeah.
So of course and then after that they started asking. So obviously you didn't go with the police to the police station as such. So what was the time difference? Because obviously we now know that your home has been demolished. Am I correct?
Right.
And you're not.
My home was demolished.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
just
What?
tell us from the moment. Obviously, your home has been demolished. From the moment the police left you and your sister-in-law, what time duration was there before they came to then start demolishing your home? And obviously, you have no notice of that.
Of course. So, like I told you that at 2:30 they came and asked us to accompany them. We said no, we will not be going. And then since then they started asking us to leave our house. That is to get out of our house. They said you don't have to come to the police station with us, but just empty your house, vacate it. They tried to evict us from our house, and when we resisted, they stayed outside of our house until 11 a.m. in the morning and continuously asked us to vacate our house. And they did not tell us why. They just said that there was some security risk, and they wanted to make sure that we are safe. And I said that like if you really want us to be safe, then you should be ensuring our security inside our house and not shifting us from one place to the other. And
Were
my
you
house was
or
demolished today.
your house is demolished?
So it was almost 24 hours later that the police decided to demolish my house.
Okay. Were you or any member of your family or your friends or your neighbours able to save any elements of your house, your belongings, your possessions? Were you given any notice at all?
We were told, we were in fact not told anything. They just came outside of our house last night at 10 p.m. and they pasted a notice of sorts, and which read that they would be demolishing our house the next morning at 11 a.m. and we should leave our house by then. And so, but we did not know because we were inside of the house, and they just pasted it. They did not even they did not even inform us that they were doing something. And what is also more shocking and more disturbing is the fact that they have used they have lied in that very notice that we were served a notice prior to this notice of demolition, and that there was some court case that happened, and but they have not mentioned any reference numbers. They have not mentioned the receiving, if we were ever given a notice earlier about the illegality of our house.
Sure. Just for our international viewers, Afreen, let me just clarify for our international viewers. When Afreen is talking about notices in India, you are given one legal notice after the next, and you have to acknowledge those notices by the court before they can then proceed to evict you or demolish your home. Obviously, what you're saying, Afreen, is that all of this happened in such a short space of time. There's no way the courts could ever have approved any of this, and therefore, obviously, it's all happened, you might say, under a smoke screen. That the police will have to try and justify. At the end of the day, how did the community around you react? Did anybody come to your help or to your aid? Did anybody come to give you any advice?
Right. I just want to add one thing and I'd answer your question then. So I also want to tell that it was a very well-planned way, the way in which the police gave us the notice last night, because today is a Sunday and the courts are closed, so we could not even challenge it. But we still filed an online petition against it, and we're still fighting. We will even though they've demolished our house, we will fight a legal case. So for our neighbors who were with us, they stayed with us until we were in the house. They supported us in any way possible. They brought us food. And many of our relatives and people of the city were trying to find out where exactly they've taken my mother and my sister to, and where exactly they've taken my father to, because we had no contact with them. In fact, even the lawyers were not allowed to talk to my father or my mother and sister. And
just very quickly, has everybody been released now?
My mother and my sister were let go today at around 9 a.m. in the morning, and they were illegally detained for more than 30 hours.
And your father?
Without us knowing where they were.
And your father, very quickly, Afreen, is he still incarcerated?
Yes, he's still unjustly incarcerated, and he's been shifted to Neni prison.
OK, well, we will keep a very close eye on this story. Afreen Fathima, of course, talking to us from a safe house in the area. Thank you so much for joining us on Al Jazeera.